The fourth house down the Diamond Hills is the residence of Murthis, two adults and three children family. Let's see what a normal day in their family is like.
ఏంట్రా పెద్దోడా, అప్పుడే మ్యాచ్ మొదలు పెట్టేశావా?
ఐపీఎల్ నాన్న.
అవునా, స్కోర్ ఎంత?
ఏంటండి మీరు కూడా పిల్లలతో కలిపి? ఆ చిన్నదేమో ఏదో టీవీ చూస్తుంది, అది ఎలాగూ రాదు. కనీసం మీరైనా వంటిట్లోకి వచ్చి వంటలో హెల్ప్ చేయొచ్చు కదా.
పెద్దమ్మాయిని హెల్ప్ చేయమను.
అది వాకింగ్ అని పార్క్ వెళ్ళింది. అది పెద్దదాని సంగతి. సరే అయితే ఈరోజు వంట లేదు, బయట నుంచి తీసుకురండి.
నాన్న అయితే మెక్డానల్డ్స్కి వెళ్దామా?
సరే, మీ ఇష్టం.
But why are we discussing their family now? Note that they're a family in India, and if we notice carefully throughout the day, every action of theirs is influenced by a culture that is not native to them. So, how does this happen? Let's dive into today's topic to find out about cultural imperialism and how it affects the lives of people. According to Britannica, cultural imperialism is the imposition by one usually politically or economically dominant community of various aspects of its own culture onto another non-dominant community. To put it in simple terms, a weaker community being influenced by the culture of a dominant community.
History provides us with a lot of examples. The Roman Empire in Western civilization is one of the earliest forms of cultural imperialism. Soviet Union's forceful attempts to impose communism on other countries was considered as a form of cultural imperialism. India is no exception to this. The impacts of British colonialism can still be seen all over India. But the most prominent form of cultural imperialism nowadays is Americanization. Huge demand for American goods and services in other parts of the world is created by aggressive marketing. Films, music, clothing, literature, and food made in America are exported to other countries, and sometimes local products are threatened.
Let's consider the example of Murthy's family. Their son watches cricket all day and their daughters watches American sitcoms and listen to singers from US and UK. Talking about cricket, does a day ever pass by without the thought of cricket? Especially as an Indian youngster, it's most likely that one of your childhood dreams is to become a cricketer secretly. The roots of this game lies elsewhere geographically. It's general knowledge of the public that gentleman game originated in England. India was once a British colony. It was during the colonization period that India and neighboring countries, which were also under Britain rule, were introduced to cricket. What started off as a foreign sport eventually became inseparable from life of Indians.
This is a classic example of passive cultural imperialism. There is another form of cultural imperialism, which is active cultural imperialism, where the dominant country forcibly imposes its culture upon a dominated country as opposed to passive cultural imperialism. While some people argue that cultural globalization is important, we certainly cannot deny the threat it poses to societies built over years. As long as a dominant culture spreads while protecting the minor one, cultural imperialism is not a dangerous phenomenon. While it's important to stay authentic to your roots, it's also important to understand and adopt the global culture. Let us know what you think about this in the comment section.